Hello again, this is my second video ever, and I'm going to talk Tyrus. Tyrus is the ship name between Cyrus and TJ, who really only got together on the last episode of Andi Mack. This, while annoying, isn't something that we can really change, because they didn't renew the show. There were a lot of things that they did right. I think that, in general, Cyrus had good times for his confessions of the fact that he was gay. I think that those were always really good. But I also feel like towards the end, there were a couple episodes that I just didn't really like. Like Cookie Monster, where he was doing this whole motorcycle thing. Although cool, I didn't like the whole legal problems. I didn't like all that Kira mess. I think I liked the idea of TJ dissing Kira, but I didn't really like how Kira made Cyrus feel. I didn't like how they put that all together. And I think that the costume day and all that sort of thing wasn't something that I thought that their relationship needed. I think that was drama that the producers just came up with because they didn't know what else to do. Disney has always done really well with a lot of their stuff, and I think that because Tyrus was the first ever gay ship they've ever tackled, that they did a pretty good job. I just think that I liked the supportive stuff when Cyrus was supporting TJ with his dyscalculia and TJ was helping Cyrus out with sports and such. It was a lot better than anything they ever did in that mock trial thing with the detention. I mean, we got that cute, lunch detention, go-kart thing, but other than that, it was just awkward, and I think that they could have done a lot better. Overall, the other thing for me was I thought that they just were something where I would have thought that Jonah would have noticed the thing with them, and I think that he probably would have made some comments. I think it would have been good if after Cyrus came out, Jonah would have asked him about that sort of thing. I know that it would have been awkward and weird, but I think that they would have had a good heart-to-heart as friends, whereas I felt like that would have been better than a lot of the other stuff. And I think that it would have been cool to have a scene with TJ and Marty, maybe, because TJ's like, who's Marty? But then we never get to figure out if they have any sort of connection and how they get along with each other. Would their relationship have improved? So stuff like that has always really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I would have liked the idea of Buffy defending TJ in the face of Kira. There's a lot of stuff they could have done there. And overall, I think that sometimes Disney tries so hard to make sure that there's drama in a relationship that it takes away from the relationship. Tyrus was definitely different than Jairus. I think that a lot of people on the internet have pointed out that the problem with Jairus is, although they were good friends, Jonah, for one, straight, and for two, he would not have been as supportive as TJ. Sure, TJ had a lot of work to do in terms of supporting Buffy and getting over his dyscalculia, but a lot of that stuff was him just feeling like basketball was the only thing that he had, and Buffy was taking away the one thing that he felt good about. So, though he was into history, I think that he felt threatened. So that kind of makes sense. But in general, like, once he got over all that stuff, he was always supportive, whether it was helping Buffy out when she was on crutches or with the somersaults with Cyrus. He went through an amazing arc, and I just felt like there were times in the third season where they could have fixed it up a little bit. I also started feeling like they should have made the episodes more about Buffy and Cyrus. Now, I might be a little bit biased in that regard, but I think that once Andi got through the initial stuff with finding out that Bex was her mom, that some of that stuff could have been cut down a whole lot. Like this whole thing with them getting engaged and it taking it forever. I mean, I get that they wanted drama. I just thought that it was a little bit much. It's like the cake that takes the cake. I think that's what the episode was called. It was the last episode in season 2 when TJ had his rap and they proposed. Like, there were certain things there where I was like, they could have made that way better. Like, change the time of the door, do something. But I just thought that the writers could have done a better job. I mean, sometimes things like this are difficult because in shows, whether it's a ship that a lot of people are really into, what's it called? There's the one with Blaine and Kurt Klain. That's a huge gay ship. And most of the time, I thought that they were amazing. But there were always times where I was like, you could have done better. No matter what, a television show is going to have problems with the ship. I don't think there's ever been a ship that I read about that didn't have rough patches, maybe. Except possibly Persebeth. They always seem to go through the ringer okay. But in general, things like that, whether it's TV, movies, or books, are gonna need some work. And on this channel, I am hoping to explore some of that stuff. I think that both TJ and Cyrus would probably end up doing a lot of theater stuff, and I think that TJ would work a lot on his writing and talking about history and exploring his own identity. That would be really great. I think he would also get into art. I think that him and Andi would probably end up bonding over that. She would probably help him out a lot. These are just some ideas that I've had, and I'm not sure if someone else wants to write some stuff. I've been starting to work on this one-shot thing. There's one one-shot on there, and I'm planning on adding some more. It's a work in progress, but if you'd like to look at anything, it's Kinkajou Canopy, KINKAJOUCANOPY on fanfiction.net. There's a couple stories, some Harry Potter, some Percy Jackson. There's a Descendants one and a Jonas Brothers one. And there's a Jimmy and Yves Adel Harlow from The Lone Gunman. It's one of my favorite shows. I'm a big fan of The X-Files. So, bye. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. President's Day. And peace out.